So you cross your legs, pull the feet back towards your body, flex the feet, and then rest the shins into the arches. Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. You want a neutral pelvis, so that means that the tailbone's not tucking under, your booty's not sticking out. You want a neutral pelvis where the front hip bones are even to the back hip bones. Let's have the palms closed onto the knees. Close your eyes and start to breathe here. And start to notice your breathing. Are you breathing fast or slow? Smooth or choppy? Deep or shallow? And start to deepen the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. And with the exhale, really visualize your lower half of your body getting grounded into the earth. On the inhales, you can let the spine lengthen. Again, on the exhales, ground the lower body into the earth. So maybe you'll visualize roots, like energetic roots growing down into the earth. Maybe you'll just feel a little bit more weight in the lower body, however it resonates with you. You can start to valve the back of the throat, which will start to make a soft sound from the back of the throat, not from the nose. It's called ujjayi breath. So just a light ujjayi breath. It's okay if you don't know how to do that yet. So focusing on the root chakra first here by getting grounded into the earth. It's always a great way to begin your practice. And think about what brought you to your mat today. Why do you want to commit to a yoga practice, to an asana practice? How does it make you feel after you're done? And let's dedicate our practice to that feeling so we can get more of that feeling. Circle your hands together in front of your heart into prayer. Let your thumbs gently touch your heart center. This is also called Anjali Mudra. And we'll begin our practice and set that intention with one Om. Om has 3 sounds, A, O, M, and then silence, so actually 4. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. And then you can slowly let your head hang forward on your exhale. Bring your hands back down to your knees and just bring the breath all the way up the back body. And let the head roll to one side, draw the opposite shoulder down. And then roll the head forward and to the other side, draw the opposite shoulder down. And bring the head back down to center. And blink your eyes open. And slowly lift your head. All right, so now extend your legs out. And you can have the knees bent, okay? Sorry about that. Okay, so extend your legs out. The legs can either be straight or they can be bent because this is the beginning of the practice, so it might be a little bit too much for the legs to be straight. Okay, now either way, what we want to do is tilt the pelvis forward. So if the legs are straight and it makes your tailbone tuck under, then bend the knees so you can tip the pelvis, kind of like you're trying to stick your booty out. Okay, on your inhale, lengthen the spine, and on your exhale, start to tilt the pelvis forward. Now, if you had other props laying around, like blocks or 2 more blankets, you could put those under the knees. So you could hold here 5 to 10 breaths. We're going to just hold for about 5. Think about bringing the chest forward, tilting the pelvis, squeezing the shoulders back gently. Tuck your chin slightly to lengthen the neck. Continue with that Ujjayi breath. Again, if you're not familiar with Ujjayi yet, just breathe in and out through the nose. Nice deep breaths. So wide leg forward fold is a good one for the root chakra. The chakras are energy centers in the center of the body. And when they are not functioning correctly, we can have all sorts of physical, emotional, and mental kind of symptoms of that. Okay, so through this practice, we'll start to balance and get the energy flowing in those chakras. And then slowly come back up. You can move any props out of your way and come onto your hands and knees. We'll come into our first downward facing dog. So spread your fingers apart as far as you can comfortably. Have your pointer fingers pointing forward. Bring your knees back a few inches. Curl the toes under. Keep the knuckles rooting down. And lift the knees up. Push into your knuckles, sending your hips up and back. Let your head hang loose. Okay, so think about here, rolling your shoulders away from each other, squeezing them into the joints, and then rolling the forearms in, keeping the knuckles super heavy onto the mat. Start to walk the dog here in our first downward facing dog. Push one heel down and the other heel down. Opening up the backs of the legs. And then walk the feet towards the hands. And bring your feet as wide as your mat. Turn your toes in slightly, hands to the shins. On your inhale, reach your heart forward, flat back, bend your knees, grab your opposite elbows. Exhale, tilt your pelvis forward, let the head hang. So breathing here, letting the spine lengthen, let the crown of the head just hang down and get heavy towards the mat. Knees can be bent so that we can tilt the pelvis. Let the arms hang to the ground, hands to the shins. Inhale, monkey pose again. Interlace your hands behind your back, bend your knees. Exhale, fold palms or fist lifts over the body. So overhead. I like to pulse a little bit with my breath in this pose. This is called Yoga Mudra, what the arms are doing. Ground down into the feet, look out in front of you, and then inhale, come up with a flat back. Reach your arms all the way overhead. Palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands to the heart. Breathe here. Find your gazing point, somewhere to look at, to focus on, to keep your mind stable and steady. This is called your drishti. Okay, bring your big toes together to touch. This is also another one really good for the root chakra. So we're still kind of in the root chakra here. Grounding down, bringing the weight back towards the heels slightly, squeezing the quads a little bit, neutral pelvis, lifting the entire rib cage, shoulders relaxed. Reaching the back of the crown of the head up towards the sky. As you exhale, ground down into all four corners of the feet. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, let your head hang loose. Inhale, come halfway up to monkey pose. Bend your knees, plant your hands. Exhale, step back to plank, top of a push-up. We're going to break these two sun salutations down. Inhale, push forward with the toes so the shoulders come past the wrists. Knees down. Exhale, lower down, squeeze the elbows in, chest lands before the belly. Uncurl the toes. So the hands should be in line with the chest. If they're up here in front of the chest, you didn't push forward in your plank enough. Okay, push the toenails into the mat. Inhale, draw the chest forward and up, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down, curl the toes under. Now try to push up in a straight line to the knees. Inhale, push up to your modified plank. Exhale, lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Let your head hang loose. Okay, so hold there in your down dog. Keep breathing, breathing in and out through the nose, rolling the shoulders away from each other, rolling the forearms in, keeping the forearms rolling in knuckles really heavy into the mat. Okay, breathing here. And our first sun salutation A, bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. And at the end of the exhale, walk or float to the front of the mat, big toes touch, hands to your shins. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, fold over the legs. Squeeze the legs together. Look out in front of you. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up and overhead. Palms touch. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Take a couple breaths here, finding again your drishti, your gazing point. And ground down into the feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Palms touch. Exhale, fold forward, let your head hang. Inhale, come halfway up to monkey pose. Bend your knees, plant your hands. Exhale, step back to plank, top of a push-up, navel to spine. Inhale, push forward, shoulders past the wrists, knees can come down. Exhale, lower down, squeeze the elbows in. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, draw the chest forward and up, pushing into the knuckles, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Exhale, come down. Curl the toes under. Inhale, push up in a straight line. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Head hangs loose. Feel free to have the knees bent so that you can tip the pelvis forward. You don't want the tailbone tucking under in your down dog, which will round the back. So bend your knees so you can tilt the pelvis forward and lengthen the spine. Bend your knees. Walk your feet forward towards the front of the mat. Big toes touch. Hands to your shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Monkey pose. Exhale, fold over your legs. Squeeze the legs together. Look out. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Okay, so now we'll start to flow a little bit more and add some poses in. So for this next little sequence, you'll need your strap or a belt, a scarf, whatever you can find. Okay, so ground down into the feet. Inhale, reach your arms overhead and bring your hips back into chair. Palms touch. Exhale, fold over the legs. It's called Uttanasana. Inhale, come halfway up, monkey pose. Bend your knees. Exhale, step back to plank, top of a push-up, push forward, lower down. So that all happens on the exhale. We took out a couple steps. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, slowly lift the hips up and back. Bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, somehow bring your right foot in between the hands. So it might look like this. You might just come here and bring the right foot in front. Okay, eventually you can swing it through. Now flatten the back foot so that it's more parallel to the back of the mat. You can grab your strap. Inhale, circle your arms up, and exhale, bend into the right knee. So you want the right knee pointing directly in the same direction as the toes. Okay, so make sure that the right toes are pointing straight. Turn your back toes in a tiny bit at about a 45-degree angle. Okay, and then with your strap, you can bring your right arm up overhead. Bend the right elbow. Reach your left hand back. Palm faces away from you. Hold on to the strap or whatever you have. Pull the left arm up. Walk the hands together. Keep bending the right knee. You want the pelvis to be neutral here, so don't let your booty pop out. Navel to spine. Hips are level. Look towards the front of the mat. Inhale, slowly straighten the right leg, but don't lock it. Exhale, reach your right elbow towards the front of the room and start to open the chest. Coming into a variation of triangle pose. Keep the chest open, keep rolling the left shoulder back. Ground down into the base of the front big toe. Inhale, come up. Release the strap. Exhale, windmill the arms down. Downward facing dog. You can stay in down dog or move through a vinyasa. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower with or without the knees. Chest lands first. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, bring the chest forward and up. Exhale, hips up and back. Bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, left foot through, low lunge, flatten the back foot, grab your strap. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend into the left knee. Push into the outside edge of the back foot to lift the inner arch. Okay, left arm up. Bend the left elbow points up, right hand behind. Hold on to your strap, pull the right arm up, walk the hands together. Right arm up, walk the hands together. Okay, try not to have one hip higher than the other. Try to level it out. Lengthen the tailbone, bring the knee back so it's right on top of the ankle. Gazing towards the front of the mat. Breathe here. At any time, feel free to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Letting go of any of that energy that you work up to the surface. Inhale, slowly straighten the left leg, but don't lock it. Squeeze the quad. Exhale, reach that left elbow up and then towards the front of the mat. Roll the right shoulder back. Breathe here. Twist the belly button towards the sky. Keep breathing. This is triangle with a variation of the arms. You don't have to do this on your own. It's just, I'm adding my own flair. Ground down into the base of the front big toe. Inhale, come up. Bend your left knee. Exhale. Windmill the arms down on either side of the left foot. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Shoulders past the wrists. Exhale, lower down. Squeeze the elbows in. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up. Cobra. Exhale, hips up and back. Let's take a few breaths in down dog. If you need to come back to your breath and you can't do that in down dog right now, take a resting pose. Because down dog's not really a resting pose. We still want to be super active in this pose. Rolling the shoulders away from each other, rolling the forearms in, knuckles heavy. Draw the low ribs in, make sure the pelvis is tilted forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, bring your right foot through, low lunge. Okay, now bring the back knee down. Bring the hands inside of the right foot and walk the right foot all the way over to the right side of the mat. Now I'm going to push my right knee forward so it's right on top of the ankle. And then you might want to bring the left knee back a little bit. This is called lizard pose. You can also do lizard with the back knee up. So that's up to you. Now, if you have blocks, you could bring forearms onto the blocks. Or if it's available to you, you can bring the forearms onto the ground. What you want to try not to do is dump into the left side. Try to keep your pelvis pretty neutral here. And breathe. So now we're moving up into the next chakra, the sacral chakra. So whenever you're getting into the hips and the pelvis, that will help you to get into that sacral chakra. And then we'll come right into pigeon from there. So what you'll do is bring this right foot all the way over to the left side of the mat. So I'm going to walk it all the way over here and let the right knee go down where my right foot just was, okay, for pigeon pose. Now you can walk your back foot back in order to get a deeper stretch in this right hip. You can kind of, they sometimes call it floint your right foot, so you're kind of pointing it, but you're pulling the toes back a little bit. That'll help to protect your knee in this pose. You can't really flex the ankle here unless the shin's parallel to the front of the mat, and most of us can't get there, okay, including me. So if you have those blocks, you can come forward. Your back leg is parallel to the back of the mat. Back toes can be uncurled. Softening here. If it's available to you, you can lay all the way down. Let your face relax. Unclench your teeth. Okay, and then move your blocks if you had those. Make your way back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to lift that right leg up, you can move it around a little bit, move through a vinyasa, or hold your down dog. So if you want to move through a vinyasa, inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower with or without the knees, uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up, cobra or bhujangasana. Exhale, hips up and back. Bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, left foot through, low lunge, right knee down. Walk both hands inside of the left foot. Walk the left foot over to the side. Okay, you might want to bring the right knee back a little bit if you need to feel more sensation. Left knee stays right on top of the ankle. Again, if you have blocks, you can utilize those. Keep the pelvis neutral, so try not to dump to the right side. Make sure all four corners of the left foot is pushing down into the mat. And breathe here. Again, this is lizard pose. Let your face relax, unclench your teeth. Okay, move your blocks. Now walk your left foot over to the right side of the mat. Let the left knee go down to where the foot just was. Okay, you can, again, kind of floint this foot, push into the heel and the ball of the foot, pull the toes back a little bit, uncurl the back toes. If you have blocks, you can always come down onto those, or just come all the way down onto the mat. Try not to dump onto the left side here. Keep the hips square. Relax the neck and breathe. While you guys are holding here, I'm just going to take a layer off. So you want to utilize that ujjayi breath if possible. Okay, move your props. Make your way back into down dog, three-legged down dog if you like. If it's available to you, move that leg around and bring the foot down. Come forward to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower with or without the knees. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up, pushing into the knuckles. A lot of times the knuckles want to pop up here. Exhale, lift the hips up and back. Bend the knees. Inhale, look forward at the end of the exhale. Bring the right foot through, low lunge. Keep the back heel lifted and rise up. Bring your arms up overhead, wrap the shoulders. Okay, so here, bend your back knee a little bit. Make sure that the right knee is not going past the ankle. So you want it right on top of the ankle. Back heel is right on top of the ball of the foot. Okay, and we'll do a twist here. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to your right. Right hand goes behind. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist and hold. You can bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Right hand can come to the waist. Stay here, or prayer. Cross your left tricep over the right leg. Palms together. So instead of coming here, you want to try to push into the hands so that the hands come towards the center of the chest, rolling the right shoulder back. Keep pushing the left heel back, right knee forward, straighten the back leg. Stay here, or bring the back knee down. Stay there, or start to really bring the knee into the armpit. Bring the left hand down, right arm up. It's going to be kind of intense. You might need to move your belly out of the way and breathe. So this is what I was calling low lunge with the back knee down. I usually just call it Anjaneyasana. All right, and release. Right leg can come straight up and back. Move it around if it feels good in your down dog. Stay in your down dog or move through vinyasa. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, hips up and back. Bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. Into the exhale, left foot through, low lunge. Inhale, rise up, crescent warrior. Exhale, twist to your left. So you want the weight right in the middle of the legs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, arms up. Palms touch. Exhale, you can come into prayer. So cross your right tricep over the left leg. Push into the left leg, trying to get the hands to the center of the heart, rolling the top shoulder back. Make sure your neck is in line with your spine so your head isn't up, it's not hanging down. Back leg straight if possible. Then bring the back knee down with as much grace as you can. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, stay there, or bring the right hand to the outside. So make sure you can breathe. Left arm could go up. This could be pretty intense, so especially in the morning, and finding it's pretty intense for me. So if you can't breathe here, then don't go to this variation, okay? That's always a good sign of where you should stay. Release. Downward facing dog. You can lift the leg up and back. All right, you guys, let's move through vinyasa. We're done flowing here. So inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, hips up and back. So hold here in down dog or come down to a resting pose. You can sit back onto the heels. So those twists, whenever we were just doing those twists, those were moving up into more of the third chakra, the solar plexus. Okay, so twists can really start to activate and balance that area. Come back to your breath. All right, now come down to the belly and we'll come into locust pose, a variation. There's a few different variations, but what we'll do is have the arms back, reaching back towards the toes. You want to bring your pelvis into neutral. So bring your pelvis into neutral, navel to spine. On your inhale, lift up. On your exhale, tuck your chin slightly. So draw the shoulders back, reach the fingers towards the toes. Turn the heels out a little bit to broaden the sacrum. Might help you unclench your tush. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, lower down. You can bring your head down to the mat. I'm not going to do that because probably mess up my mic. You could also do it this way, stacking the hands, forehead on the hands. Okay, let's do it one more time. On your inhale, lift up. On your exhale, tuck the chin slightly. So this is good for the heart. Opening the heart. It's also getting a lot of the other chakras as well, but we're focusing here on the heart. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, you can lower down, turn your head in the opposite direction, or put your opposite hand on top, depending on what variation you did. All right, so now we'll come into bow pose. So bend both of your knees, reach back, see if you can grab your toes or your ankles. Now, alternatively, what you could do is use a strap. Put the strap around the feet, if you can figure that out. Hold on to the strap. Okay, bring your knees so that they're parallel. Pelvis is neutral. On the inhale, pull the feet back. On your exhale, tuck your chin slightly. This is called bow. Draw the shoulders back, reach the heart forward. Might rock a little bit. One more breath. Slowly release. One more time. Bend your knees. So also, if you don't have a strap and you couldn't grab both legs, you can do one leg at a time, okay? So grab what you can. Pelvis is neutral. Navel to spine. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tuck your chin slightly. Reach your heart forward. Make sure that the knees aren't going out, heels aren't coming in. You want to try to keep the knees parallel. And slowly release. Bring your hands down beside your chest. Curl your toes under. Inhale, push up to the knees. You can move your strap out of the way or any other props, and we'll come into child's pose for a few breaths. So you can have the knees together for a little bit more of a challenge. That's more of a traditional child's pose, or knees can be apart, big toes touching. With the knees together, you'll have to focus into moving the breath into the back body instead of the belly. So whenever you come down like this, the belly is right on the knee, so you won't be able to breathe into the belly. So focus on pushing it into the back body. So here we're stretching out the back in the opposite direction. It's a counter pose for our back bends. If the forehead doesn't easily come to the mat, stack the fist. Bring the forehead onto the fist. So anytime the forehead's on the ground or just on something, like right now it's on my fist, that's good. It stimulates the third eye, okay? And it's also usually very calming. And then slowly start to sit up, If you have your blanket handy, you can come back to that on for Sukhasana, easy cross-legged pose. Put your non-dominant leg in front. Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones, coming into a neutral pelvis. Lower belly slightly in and up, bringing the breath up, letting the ribs and chest expand in every direction. On your exhale, let the outer body soften. Now you can start to keep inhaling nice and long, but let your exhales get longer and longer. Okay, so it's called Visamrivriti breath, where it's unequal breathing. So letting the exhales again get longer and longer. That will start to, now that we've kind of worked out any nervous energy with our flow, we'll start to really slow it down. Activate the parasympathetic state. So that will bring about more relaxation. Whenever we lengthen the exhales, helps our bodies and minds to calm a little bit more. And slowly lay all the way down onto the back. Move any props out of the way. And we'll do legs up the wall pose. If you're proficient in shoulder stand and you know how to do that, you can do it, because we won't really hold. If you do shoulder stand without props, without blankets under your shoulders, you really only want to do it for 45 seconds, okay? So 45 seconds or less if you're doing this without props, because we don't want to hurt the neck. We'll just do, I'm just going to show you legs up the wall pose. So you can just come here, legs up the wall, without the wall, of course. Knees bent a little bit. Bring the feet in towards the body slightly. Close the eyes. And bend your knees. Bring your feet down to the ground. Now, extend the legs out and come onto your elbows for fish pose. Okay, so for fish pose, you want to bring your hands, they'll kind of come under your booty, palms facing down. Squeeze the elbows in. Push into the elbows. Watch how I lift the heart. Okay, so inhale, opening the heart, exhale, opening the throat, letting the head come back. So here, stimulating throat and crown. Focusing on the third eye center and the center of the forehead. Not really putting any weight on the head. Maybe about 10%. To come out of it, just slowly start to push the head back, tuck the chin a little bit. Lay all the way back. You can, if you have your blanket, put that under your knees for Shavasana. Let the feet fall out to the sides. Arms a little bit wider than the mat. Palms facing up. Feet fall out to the sides. Make sure that your chin is not jutting up towards the ceiling. Draw the chin back slightly so that the chin and forehead are level. Or the chin can be a little bit lower than the forehead. Close the eyes. Take 2 cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can kind of make a sigh on the exhale, just really letting go of any of that energy that we worked up to the surface. So inhale, exhale, let it go. One more, inhale, exhale, let it go. And then you can just start to breathe in and out through the nose, starting to really relax and release into our Shavasana, our final resting pose. Just laying on the back, letting the back of the body get heavier and heavier with each exhale. letting the front of the body get lighter and lighter. Letting the center of the body just feel expansive and open, light, free. Let the crown of the head relax. And the scalp. The forehead. The eyebrows. Space in between the eyebrows. The temples. The ears. The cheeks. And the nose, the nostrils, the lips, Daddy's in there. The tongue and the jaw, the throat and the neck, the shoulders, the chest, the arms, the elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, and fingers, the rib cage, the back, the spine, all the way down to the belly, the pelvis, the glutes, all the way down the legs to the knees, shins and the calves, the ankles, tops of the feet, soles of the feet, and the toes. Letting every part of your body and your mind, your spirit, be relaxed and at ease, feeling connected to your inner self, your inner knowing, and source. Being grateful for this body that you have while you're here on earth. Taking care of your body and your mind and your emotional state so that you can do what you're here to do. Start to deepen your breath. And bring some movement back into the fingers and the toes. And reach your arms overhead and your feet in the opposite direction for a full body stretch. Maybe even arch your back a little bit. And start to bend your knees. Roll over onto your right hand side using your right arm for a pillow. Take a couple breaths here. Slowly start to push yourself up to seated. Let your head be the last thing to come up, coming to an easy cross-legged pose. Put your non-dominant leg in front. Let your palms be open on the knees. Relax the shoulders. Reach the back of the crown of the head up. Come back to your breath here. Notice how you're feeling now at the end of your practice. And circle your hands together in front of your heart into prayer. Let your thumbs gently touch your heart center. Let's show gratitude and close our time together with one Om. Take a deep breath in. And then you can bow down to wherever it feels good for you. Bring your thumbs from your heart center up to your third eye, sealing in your practice. Acknowledging the energy that's within you, around you, connects us all together and never goes away. That energy within me acknowledges the energy within you, and I thank you so much for letting me guide you through this practice today. Namaste.